Friends, Mars in Vedic astrology basically is a force of will or action. Mars, a Mangala, is a planet of raw energy which drive your raw energy and drive execution. And in Vedic astrology, it is called commander, the Senapati. He is the commander in chief. He represents our capacity to take action, our survival instincts, and our ability to conquer all obstacles. When Mars is strong, he grants courage, he grants authority. But when challenged, he manifests his impulsive hit, his uh, quick response, conflict, and volatility. So these are positive and negative attributes of Mars. But let's talk about his core attributes or characteristics. So Mars is a fiery sign. It's a Agni element or a fire element. His energy is penetrating, sharp, and direct. There is no ifs and buts there. So first is ego and command. The Mars represents I that acts. It is the ego, that ego's desire assert itself and command respect and lead on the forefront. Mars is for the war. Mars is always a war. Power and heat. It provides a physical vitality, and it is like a deha, your body. So if your sun is represents soul, the body represents the Mars. So the internal heat is required to metabolize life experiences. So heat is extremely important here. The shadow side of the Mars is also there. The Mars is also a planet of friction. He is intrinsically linked with enmity, uh, competition. There is a competitive nature. Mars will give it to you. Dates, if the Mars is connection with the sixth house in either present or conjunct or aspect, you will have a challenge in dates. Diseases also, Mars related diseases are more inflammation or burning, and that is caused by the imbalances in the body. That is where the Mars play a big role. Now, as far as career or expectations or manifestation is concerned, if you want to manifest something related to career, there are require precision, there are require courage, they require physical action as a karma. That means your career or technical prowess. That's the Mars carries the capabilities. So what is the ideal career? Mars is loves. There is a cut. That means surgery. He can do it. Mars is extremely good in military defense, engineering. You are a manufacturer. You want to establish your factory. Mars is very very important. You are into law enforcements like police or federal police and all and related. Mars loves sports. Sports is where you are very interested. If a strong Mars denotes a strong body denotes a physical sports where you will efforts. Competitiveness that gives Mars, and which is comes with the competitive entrepreneurship. So that's where Mars play a big role. Metallurgy is there. All metallurgy related activities are in Mars. Any field which required heavy machinery, heavy technical expertise, real estate, because Mars is a land attributor. That means Bhumi Karaka and the significator of land and property. It high stakes leadership where allow Mars to burn his energy to constructively rather than just destructively. So this is where Mars play a big role. Even you go on a gym, you are a gym instructor, Mars play a big role. Anything intense weights you do, Mars is a present there. So let's understand Mars's first dynamics. As I previously told you that when Sun enters or Soul enters your body is in Mars, it's the first house, and Soul live your body in the eighth house. That's the house of death. So that is where first and eighth houses are given the Karaka for Mars or the Lord of Mars. The Mars here gives us in first house. Mars gives us strong constitution, assertiveness, perhaps aggressiveness also, because little anger issue comes. The personality goes with heavy breathing, and the personality shows the impulsiveness without thinking, taking decisions. So you are architect of your own destiny. You define your own destiny. But you're prone to imbalances and hot headnesses. Because of that, a lot of conflicts you create. Mars in the also it's eighth lord, so it's a complex placement. It brings sudden transformation events, which is beat in your career or your health or your temperament. The volatile temperament also creates health issues, but it also provides a survival life needed to research, probe, or manage others people resources like inheritances. You get a lot of inheritance if the Mars is in the eighth house. Your parental inheritance can come, which is mostly on the land side of it, land or landed property you can get because of Mars. Uh, so this becomes first and eighth house of Lord. But however, there are other houses Mars owns it, or Karaka is a significator of the houses. And in some of the difficult or free will houses given it to Mars as well as a significator. So first we'll talk about third house. Third house is all about your courage, skill, efforts, initiative, adventure. Governs personal valor, willpower, the drive to take actions. As a Bhratrukaraka, it is also a denote the your younger sibling or especially younger male siblings to Mars and energy used to pursue one's goals. So that is where third house becomes so important in our life, and Mars is also significator of the third house. Next is the fourth house. Fourth house is again is your home, but so fourth house is also your property. So it's a bhumi karaka, or it's a significator of land and property. It is a primary significator of real estate, and hence it's immovable property or land acquisition or domestic security. You can get it through Mars in the four. It's connected with the fourth house as well. Sixth house. Sixth house is all your dates in life. Dates will be Rog, Runa, Shatru. Rog means diseases connected with Mars. Runa means your dates you take it from Mars, or from banks you take whatever the loans you take, it's again a dates. And internal discipline is also required. Daily routine is required where you need to do a physical health to be maintained, and that is where the Mars presence is attributing the sixth house is much more. And third, fourth house is a tenth house, which is again a house of karma, where Mars become Digbali, or redirectional strength. You will get it, making it a primary force for professional authority. In profession, you don't want a submissive planet or very benefic planet. You need a hardcore, cruel planet who can handle the challenges at the karma. Because karma, where you've been get reviewed, karma is where you get questioned, and that is the reason you need that adventure and strength to handle the. Hence, Mars become very strong in 10th house, and that makes him primary force for professional authority, career execution, and ability to command at the workplace. You become a commander in chief of the workplace. People will start reporting you because you are a leader, a true leader. Regardless it occupies, Mars has a typical habit. It's a perpetual catalyst that demand you active in that house. Immediate engagement is required. Karmic engagement is very strong here. Prevents you from remaining a passive, like observer. But in that area, you are actively involved. Example, someone's having a 10th house Mars. That means he's need to be cannot be keeping in a taking a side role or a very supportive role, but he should be at the main forefront to fight the battle. As far as that means, he becomes the leadership qualities. That's the reason Mars in the 10th house considered great. So it functions as a crucible for friction, okay, and forcing you to exert your free will or exert your willpower to ensure that you handle the challenges, confront the challenges, face the challenge, not running around, and fight for control to facilitate the personal growth. As you fight to get your own challenges and struggle, you overcome the struggle and you achieve the ladders of success. So this becomes very crucial that you understand wherever Mars sit, he is going to create these kind of catalyst in your chart. You will be whole life active in that specific area. So what happens? Mars in 12 houses experience, we also need to understand where the Mars is sitting in your chart. So if Mars is sitting in the first house, you can call it as a self assertion or I will say aggressiveness, vitality is very high, high energy. The person is going to be high energy, and he will have anger issues. He need to handle that anger issues unless it has been not aspected by any malefic and aspected by benefic. That is matter because whole life Mars is going to take control. Your whole life you are keep running around from pillar to post to handle your own challenges in life. Second house, you will get a very harsh speech and sharp speech. If it is not aspected by any benefic planet, then this entire Mars placement in the second house can create quite a lot challenge because you are gonna create conflict. This is a house of your family. This is a house of your family assets or your relative or close relatives and your accumulation of wealth. But just because if you utilize Mars wrongly here, your speech can destroy the relationship with families and all, and the management of financial management becomes sometimes difficult because of impulsive decisionness. So, third house. This is a tremendous place. This gives a solid courage for a person. Initiative will be taken very aggressively, and drive is there for succeed because anything new you want to learn, that's the energy and the hunger will be there, and that hunger will be managed through the third house. Fourth house. Fourth house, your home become very turbulent place, and there is going to be intense attachment to children. Sorry, passion to for a real estate. So passion is become very critical. So you want to have multiple properties and you want to build it up more and more property. There is kind of affinity towards land acquisition and more land. Fifth house, there's a impulsive creativeness is there. You will suddenly feel something come in the mind and you will prepare something and you will love that. And, uh, and that's all impulsiveness. But sports, great placement for sports. So people who in the sports, Mars in the fifth house, absolutely great for sports. Creative knowledge. People with the Mars and suppose Venus in the combination, they can be a great role they can play in the of movies and all kind of thing. You can actually play a big role in that. And obviously, there is going to be intense attachment to the children also can come from the fifth house. Sixth house is excellent for defeating enemies. It's a Shatruhanta placement and potential for accident as well because you are managing struggle. Eventually, mistakes are happening because it's impulsiveness. You are bound to get some challenges there. Mars in the seventh house is a passionate but conflict prone partnership. You never know. Your home become a battleground, your partner become your competitor in conversations, and there is unnecessary conflict can arise. A normal small communication by just speaking something wrong, things will go haywire. So you need to be very careful when the seventh partner Mars is in the seventh house. At least with the partner, you need to take care. And even if your regular business you're doing retail business, there is a conflict expected in that, so you use Mars proactively. Eighth house Mars, it's a deep transformation but great land property inheritance. Unexpected challenges will keep coming but you will be able to overcome on that. Ninth house, this is a aggressive pursuing truth and actually warrior kind of place. It's anyway Sagittarius place where Mars has become another fire planet. Sagittarius is a fiery sign. So imagine that there is going to be uh, do fight for religion, fight for your own faith. That can happen, and you will take that as a personal ambition to be protector for religion. Kind of role you can play. 10th house Mars, as I earlier told, it's a commanding role. It's a commanding career for growth. Leadership will come, authority will come. You will rise in the ladder because it's a Kuladeepak Yog where the if the Mars coming into the 10th house, it confirms you are going to great a Kuladeep as a as a as a native. You will do well. 11th house Mars is a passionate drive for social and financial gain, but there is also expected if the benefic planet is not expected, you can create some trouble with conflicts because of your social circle conflicts with the social circle. What happens is that it impacts your gains, and also if you see Mars's aspect goes to the second house from 11th house, so it's very crucial. This Mars need to be managed really well. You can gains from property, you can accumulate a lot of wealth through selling the property. You can get that kind of 11th house Mars. Wealth is hidden intensity. It's a struggle with the sleep, and you are struggle to handle the expenditure. That's the 12th house Mars we are talking about. Now, last is point I thought to talk about how to harmonize Mars. Mars anyway is a little cruel planet. You have to live with that planet. You have to use the good attributes of planet, but you also need to keep the bad attributes of planets away from you so that it doesn't impact your whole life. Because Mars, with whom it conjunct, or Mars with on whom he is giving a kind of aspect, he is instigating that planet to act, and it does. If you doesn't act or you remain passive in that area, it cannot trouble you. So it is better you follow cosmic energy of Mars and utilize in your life so that your life become much more peaceful. So one is that Mars. What is that? Conscious expenditure of energy. Because Mars is going to bubbling out all the energy. So what happens? The energy is coming out. So physical exercise is non-negotiable. Even if you Mars sitting in any of the placement, but physical exercise is not negotiable. You don't burn the Mars fire through movement, but will burn through your relationship or your health. So it is better utilize the Mars because he's a commander. He is always on the war. If you don't use him, he will that energy will come out from mouth or your speech that will disturb or destroy others relationship and all, and it's very bad. So better utilize that energy. When that energy get utilized for your exercise and all, you become silent, subtle, and then you will able to handle the relationship much better. Strategic discipline is must for Mars. Mars loves target. You set goals, small goals on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, or a yearly basis, and try and break that goal. And the goal should be good side. Example, you want to um, go for a 10-kilometer walk, example. So that 10-kilometer walking, you can set up a goal. You can start with 1 kilometer, then 5 kilometer, then 7 kilometer, and then 10 kilometer. So what happens? You're setting up the goal and you're achieving, overachieving, and you're going to the next goal. That way, this discipline, Mars loves this discipline because sitting idle and is a very dangerous. It's very reactive. So focused Mars is always powerful. So keep Mars busy with action. If you are feeling that I have a very strong Mars and I'm not using it enough, you will see that problem is arising in your mental state health, your physical health, on your relationship also, where it get disturbed. And some of the time it also affects your career and your financial accumulation as well. Um, and that is where you need to focus. Dietary support, I will say Mars is connected with the pitta or heat, or it's a fire. It's associated with that. So better to balance Mars. This Mars, if it is imbalanced Mars, then favor go for cooling foods like cucumber or a leafy greens or a coconut. You can highly avoid the highly spices and processed stimulants which unnecessary instigate Mars more actively. And if you have fire or pitta kind of acidic nature, if your body is acidic nature, you should be avoiding this kind of food to remain healthy. Otherwise it can create havoc in your body. So that you need to take care of it. And last is serve. Serve, give your service physically, not just paying donation for some work and tell them, okay, you guys do it. No, this will not mark for Mars. Want your present there, your presence there. You go once in a week or once in a 2 3 days. Go physically work for cleaning or something, some action you want to do for the or helping others who need that support. So physically go to hospitals or a orphanage and help those people. Food, serve food with physically with your hands. You used your actions. So what happened? Mars get utilized in a right manner, and Mars, if it is especially with the sixth house issue, the Mars, this kind of physical efforts are much more required. So this is overall my point of view on a Mars, which can cover how Mars exactly look in your life. You have to find out where your Mars sitting. If you put in the comment where the Mars is sitting, I will respond to that Mars, this comment, and what needs to be done. And hope you like my video. If you like my video, like uh, button, press the like button. If you love my channel, subscribe my Astro Vishakha your YouTube channel, and share with your friends and family. And also, if you have any question, you comment. I will answer them. So thank you once again, and have a great day.